In 2006, a man deliberately started destroying his own company. He ordered every engineer to build a more expensive, hotter, less efficient product, on purpose. Every single graphics card leaving the factory, from the cheapest to the priciest, now carried extra silicon that gamers never asked for and never wanted. Profit margins fell immediately. Investors watched in disbelief. Analysts started asking the one question no chief executive wants to hear. Was he trying to sink the company himself? His name was Jensen Huang, and this decision would eventually help build the technology now running the entire artificial intelligence revolution. But almost nobody alive in 2006 believed that. Most people believed the opposite. They believed they were watching a brilliant company walk itself off a cliff. He was not chasing this year's sales. He was building a bridge toward a market that did not exist yet, for customers who had not shown up yet, using technology nobody had requested. So why would a man risk everything he had spent his life building? The answer starts with a boy, a bucket, and a bathroom floor in Kentucky. Jensen Huang's family believed they were sending him to an elite American boarding school. They were wrong. It was a reform academy for troubled teenagers, and the only job waiting for him there was scrubbing the boys' bathrooms every single day. He never complained. He simply did the work nobody wanted, quietly, without asking for recognition. It was a small detail from a hard childhood, but it planted something that never left him. The belief that survival is earned through unglamorous labor, not luck. Years later, in 1993, he co-founded a company at a booth inside a Denny's diner in San Jose with $40,000 and an idea almost nobody else believed in. He named it Nvidia, after the Latin word for envy, because that was exactly what he wanted competitors to feel. Survival was never promised. Their first product failed. By 1997, the company had just enough money left in the bank for one final payroll before the doors closed for good. Then, Nvidia broke a promise to Sega, failing to deliver a chip for the Dreamcast console on time. Instead of hiding, Huang flew to Japan and told Sega's chief executive the truth to his face. Sega handed him $5 million anyway, a lifeline earned not through success, but through honesty in the middle of failure. Huang made himself one more promise that year. If Nvidia's stock ever reached $100 a share, he would get the company logo tattooed onto his arm. Years later, he kept his word and admitted afterward that it hurt more than he expected. That near-death experience became his religion. He would spend the rest of his career warning employees that Nvidia was always 30 days from going out of business, even after it became one of the most powerful companies on Earth. By 2006, that same fear was staring him down again. Only this time, the threat wasn't bankruptcy. It was irrelevance. By 2006, Nvidia had nothing to complain about. Its graphics cards were fast, its profit margins were healthy, and Wall Street loved the story it told every quarter. Huang saw something else entirely. He believed that if Nvidia stayed a gaming company forever, it would eventually die anyway, just more slowly. Buried inside every graphics chip was a hidden talent, the ability to solve massive parallel math problems, the exact kind of calculations that could power entire fields of science nobody had connected to gaming hardware before. So he made the gamble. He called it CUDA, and it meant hiding a supercomputer inside a teenager's game console. The reaction was brutal. Gamers were paying more money for a hotter, heavier product that made their games run no better. Intel and AMD watched Nvidia burn cash on a feature almost nobody used, and they laughed. Institutional investors started dumping the stock. Analysts got directly on the phone with Huang and told him to kill the project before it killed the company. He refused. Inside Nvidia, this was no longer a strategy debate. It was a fight for the company's identity, waged one earnings call at a time, with Huang standing almost alone on one side of it. Then the entire global economy collapsed. and the fight was about to get far worse before it got anywhere close to better. The financial crisis of 2008 hit Nvidia like a demolition. Its stock price collapsed by more than 80%, falling from $37 a share to under $6. Inside the company, CUDA had a nickname now, and it wasn't a kind one. Employees privately called it the $0 billion market. Hundreds of millions of dollars in research had produced almost no revenue. On earnings calls, analysts stopped hinting and started demanding, "Kill CUDA, save the margins, save the company." Huang listened to every question. He answered every one. And then he kept funding it anyway. With the company bleeding and panic spreading through the halls, Huang cut his own salary down to $1, just to keep the engineers building CUDA employed. He would later describe leadership in blunt terms. Running a company, he said, is not about enjoying it, it's about suffering. Almost nobody outside Nvidia understood what he was protecting. But a small, obscure group of university researchers had quietly stumbled onto something extraordinary. A $500 Nvidia graphics card, thanks to CUDA, could now do calculations that once required a multi-million-dollar supercomputer. Huang had spent a decade building the infrastructure for a scientific revolution that hadn't happened yet. Nobody was buying it. Nobody, except the handful of researchers who were about to blow the whole bet wide open. In 2012, 3 researchers entered an image recognition competition with a neural network called AlexNet. They didn't train it on a custom-built supercomputer. They trained it on 2 ordinary Nvidia gaming cards, the kind sold in electronics stores. AlexNet obliterated the competition. And in that instant, the artificial intelligence world realized something nobody had predicted. The hardware they needed to build thinking machines already existed, quietly sitting inside video game computers, running on software Nvidia had been perfecting since 2006, back when nobody wanted it. The $0 billion market had just become the foundation of an entire scientific era, built years before anyone knew that era was coming. In 2016, Huang personally delivered the world's first AI supercomputer to a small, unproven startup. He signed it himself, to the future of computing and humanity. That startup was OpenAI, the company that would go on to build ChatGPT. 10 years of ridicule, 10 years of a market that technically did not exist. It had just become the invisible engine behind the most important technology of the century. By 2023, Nvidia crossed $1 trillion in value. A year later, it passed $3 trillion, becoming one of the most valuable companies on the planet. And its chips now sit at the center of a race between nations, not just competitors. Governments now restrict who is allowed to buy them, because whoever controls this hardware controls the pace of progress itself. Every major artificial intelligence breakthrough since AlexNet has run on the architecture Huang built, while Wall Street was begging him to stop. Competitors cannot simply copy a better chip. They would have to recreate 2 decades of software that an entire generation of scientists had already built their work on top of. So why did a boy who once scrubbed toilets bet his entire company on a market that didn't exist, for customers who hadn't shown up yet? Because he never believed Nvidia was safe to begin with. He still tells employees today that the company is 30 days from going out of business. That fear never made him cautious. It made him build a bridge to a future nobody else could see, long before anyone was waiting to cross it. The world didn't catch up to Jensen Huang in 2006. It took 16 years. But when it finally arrived, it found the bridge already standing, and Huang already waiting on the other side. So what hidden story should we uncover next? Tell us in the comments below. And if you enjoy discovering the bigger picture behind the people, companies, and decisions that shaped our world, subscribe and join us as we uncover the next hidden story together.